right, welcome back. Hope you had a good semi-day off yesterday. Got a few things taken care of. It is Thursday, and so Thursday means that we're almost to the end of our first unit. You should have already gone through climate change and weather. You should have already submitted 4 items plus a lab on that. You should have done kinetic molecular theory and those activities. You should have completed the activities under states of matter. I guess there was more than 3. And you should have completed the gas law worksheets by now, those formatives. That's what you should have done. And you should also be well on your way to completing your 500-word paper on climate change. And I know this is a faster pace than we would ordinarily be going. I went back and looked over the summer at how long we took to do these 4 subunits last year, and with our AB schedule, 5 days a week, we took from the 1st of September until about mid-October. It's almost 6 weeks. And we've jammed that down now into 2 weeks, just taking the core pieces of it and hoping that you are doing those 2 main things that are going to make you successful this year. One, being a responsible student. And remember, responsible means that you're taking the initiative, that you're looking at yourself going, okay, what do I need to do in order to really understand climate change and KMT? And states of matter, and am I good at the gas laws? And if I'm not, maybe I need a little bit more practice. And then you go back and you do that. Because we this year cannot do this where student comes to me and says, I don't get it. And I go, what? Don't get what? The whole thing. Teach me. And it's like, no, can't do that. That was the old model. So you really need to be responsible. You need to be doing all the work, attending the Zoom meetings, okay? That's what we're doing this year to be successful. All right, enough lecture. Today, what we're doing is getting ready for our quiz, because we've already gone through those 4 things: climate change, weather, kinetic molecular theory, states of matter, and the gas laws. So what I want to do in about this 6-7 minutes that are left on this little video is to give you a heads up as to what you should be able to do in order to be successful on the quiz. Okay, so first thing, Unit 1.1, climate and weather. Okay, you should be able to tell me some things about climate change, and I'll be a lot more specific than that. I may ask you a true-false question, such as under climate change, the amount of sea ice is increasing. And you would go, oh, no, that's false. But then you'd have to say, no, it's false because the amount of sea ice is decreasing because the air is warming and the water is warming, and that thermal energy in the water and the air is making the ice change state from a solid to a liquid, and that is causing sea level to rise because we have more liquid and we have more a greater temperature change in the water, which means the water actually occupies more space. Okay, that'd be a really complete answer. If I said that agriculture should change to help reduce climate change, well, you'd say true. But you can't just leave it at that. On the quiz, you'd have to tell me true that if we changed agricultural practices to be more oriented towards production of foods for people that are plant-based instead of animal-based, we might be able to reduce greenhouse gases. Okay, so you're getting an idea of what that might look like. All right. On the next one, Unit 1, Subunit 1.2. In Subunit 1.2, we were working on kinetic molecular theory. And so I'm going to ask you about explain kinetic molecular theory. Explain why a balloon gets bigger when we apply heat. And you might say, well, it gets bigger because there's more thermal energy, and the more energy it has, the more kinetic energy it has. And with more kinetic energy, the molecules and atoms are moving faster, and so therefore it's expanding. Okay? I want you to know about kinetic molecular theory. All right. In 1.3. 1.3 is states of matter. So I might ask you a true-false question, like it is possible for plastic to go from a solid to a gas phase without becoming a liquid. And you'd go, oh yeah, that's true. Yep. And you might even relate or draw for me a phase diagram that says, yes, if we had a pressure, and you could make it up, a pressure of 1 atmosphere, and we just raised the temperature, and you would show me what that line would look like. We could go right across that solid to vapor line and turn it into a gas, or then increase the pressure and turn it into a liquid. And you would tell me about that. And if I've said, well, states of matter, ice, tell me about how do we know if climate is really changing over a 10,000 year period? And you might say, oh, well, that's easy because when we drill ice cores in Greenland and in Antarctica, there are little bits of atmosphere trapped in bubbles, and we can evaluate the amount of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane gas, and water, and so we will know how much the atmosphere has changed. Okay, and then when you get to 1.4, the gas laws, yes, I'm going to give you some gas law problems to solve, and yes, I will give you the equations. So the quiz will be basically true, false, justify your answers. It will be on formative, and I only teach one class of chemistry, and Miss Mockel, who teaches the other class, is not going to use the same quiz as me. And so when you come to class on Zoom, we'll have a quick review, and then I'll be asking you to participate in a formative quiz. So at any rate, I'm giving you this time to study a bit, and if you feel like you're already in great shape tonight for a quiz on Friday, then spend a little bit of time polishing up your climate change paper, and on Monday we'll go over your e-binders in Zoom, and I'll go over in a more relaxed manner putting all the stuff that you've done now into your e-binder so that it's actually something that I can look at as a record of all of the work that you've done these first 2 weeks. So congratulations, you've made it through 2 weeks of virtual school, and we're just going to keep on going. Remember, if you're having troubles, be sure that you get in touch with me. And our next unit is actually going to be on the periodic table, atomic theory and the periodic table. So moving into some other types of chemistry, that's where we're going next. So don't get behind. Things are moving quick, and it's going to keep moving this quick the rest of the school year. All right, so study tonight, quiz on Friday. See you then.